Sugar. So sugar is a sweet crystalline ingredient commonly derived from sugarcane or sugar beets, and it plays a vital role in baking. It provides sweetness and flavor. It softens textures by limiting gluten formation. It aids in browning and caramelizations. Retain the moistures to keep baked goods tender and helps to create volume when creamed with fat. So common types include granulated, brown, powdered, and raw sugar, and it used in a wide range of baked goods such as cake, cookies, pastries, and sweet breads. So what are the kinds of sugars? First is ultrafine sugar. It also called caster or superfine sugar. It is a granulated sugar ground into very small crystals. Its fine textures allow it to dissolve quickly and evenly, making the ideal for delicate baked goods like sponge cakes, meringues, and soufflés, as well as for beverages such as iced tea and cocktails. The granulated sugar or table sugar is the most common form of sugar with medium-sized crystals. The versatility makes it suitable for everyday use in baking cookies, cakes, sauces, and for sweetening beverages like coffee and tea. The powdered sugar, also called confectioner or icing sugar, is a granulated sugar ground into fine powder and blended with a small amount of cornstarch to prevent clumping. Its fine textures allow it to dissolve quickly, making it ideal for icing, frosting, and dusting dessert. It is commonly sprinkled over donuts, brownies, or pastry as a finishing touch and used in a buttercream frosting, royal icing, and whipped cream for a smooth, creamy texture. Brown sugar is a type of sugar that contains molasses, giving it a soft textures and a distinct rich flavor. It is available in a light and dark varieties, with dark brown sugar having a higher amount of molasses. So make it more robust in taste. Brown sugar is commonly used in cookies, cakes, sauces, and marinades, adding moisture, color, and caramel-like flavor to baked goods and dishes. The invert sugar is a liquid sweetener made by breaking down sucrose into its component sugar, also glucose and fructose. So this process makes it sweeter and more soluble than regular sugar, and it helps retain moisture, preventing crystallization in confections. So invert sugar is commonly used in candies, ice cream, syrups, and baked goods, providing smooth textures, longer shelf life, and enhanced sweetness. So what is the effects of sugar? So sugar plays a several important roles in baking. It tenderizes gluten, making baked goods softer and more delicate. Sugar is also contribute to browning and crisping through caramelization and the Maillard reaction, giving products an appealing color and textures. Additionally, sugar helps retain moistures, allowing baked products to stay fresh longer by slowing down the staling processes. Now, leaveners are ingredients that produce gas, usually carbon dioxide or steam, causing dough and butter to rise and expand, making baked goods light, airy, and tender. So, leavening can be achieved through biological, like yeast. Chemical is baking soda or baking powder, then physical, like steam or air means. A leavening agent or leaven is an ingredient that causes dough or batter to rise by producing gas, creating light and airy baked goods. Leavening can be biological, as I said earlier, so it can be from yeast. Then when we say chemical, it can be from baking powder or baking soda, or physical could be steam or air. So these agents are essential for achieving proper textures, volume, and tenderness in bread, cakes, and pastries. So we have different kinds of leavening agents. First is the air. So it is a physical leavener that gets trapped in the mixtures during beating, whisking, folding, or sifting. So when heated in the oven, this air packet expand, causing the production to rise. So it is one of the simplest and most natural leavening agents. Then steam. So water in dough or batter turns into vapor during baking, expand, and making the product rise. So it can be used in cream puffs, eclairs, popovers, steam buns. But note, it comes naturally from water, milk, or eggs, not a commercial product. Chemical leavening agents, it is the substance that release carbon dioxides when reacting with moisture, heat, or acids, making baked goods rise. So for the types and example, we have baking soda. It is a single acting, needs an acid to react. It's used in cookies, pancakes, quick breads. The baking powder, it is a double acting, it reacts with liquid and heat. It's used in cakes, muffins, and cupcakes. Yeast, it is a living microorganism or what we call fungus that ferments sugar in dough, producing carbon dioxide and alcohol, which make baked goods rise and adds flavor. Example in use in breads, rolls, pizza dough, donuts, and fermented beverages like beer and wine. So we have different kinds of yeast. First is compressed yeast. It's also called fresh or cake yeast. It is a moist, highly active form of yeast, like 70% moistures, that must be refrigerated and used quickly. So it can be used in breads, dinner rolls, and sweet yeast dough for strong fermentation and the fresh yeast flavor. The dry yeast, a dehydrated form of yeast with long shelf life, active when mixed with warm water or liquid. Types include active dry yeast, needs proofing, and instant yeast mixes directly with flour. So it can be used in breads, pizza, cinnamon rolls, and other yeast leavened baked products. So prepared by home bakers for easy storage. Liquids. So water is essential in baking. It hydrates flour to form gluten. It dissolves ingredients and generates steam for leavening and crust formation. Activates gluten and yeast in bread, binds flour and fat in pastry without over developing gluten. Milk, it provides moisture, flavor, color, and nutrition. Its protein, fats, and sugars improve textures, aid browning, and enrich baked goods. So it strengthens bread dough, it softens crumbs, it enhances cake creaminess, and it adds tenderness and browning in pastries. Now let's proceed to the eggs. So eggs provide structures, moisture, richness, color, and leavening. So whites add volume, yolk add fat, tenderness, and emulsifications. So it can be used light and airy cakes, custard and flans, enriched breads and pastries. So this diagram shows the internal and external part of a chicken egg. Here are the labeled parts and their functions. When we say shell, it is the harder outer covering made mostly of calcium carbonate. It protects the egg. The outer membrane and inner membrane, this lies just beneath the shell and acts as a barrier to bacteria and protects against moisture loss. Then air cell, it is a packet of air formed at the wide end of the egg. It gets larger as the egg ages. The albumen or egg white, the clear liquid surrounding the yolk, it provides cushioning and protein for the embryo. Then the yolk, the yellow part, it contains nutrients for the developing embryo, including fats, protein, vitamins, and minerals. Then the vitelline membrane, It is a clear casing that holds the yolk together. Then chalazae, it is a spiral strands of protein that anchor the yolk in the center of the egg. They keep it stable. Next is the for eggs are classified into different sizes that based on their weight. So we have here peewee eggs. It weight less than 40.16 grams or about 1.41 ounces. Small eggs range from 40 to 16 to 47 to 24 grams, which is 1.41 to 1.66 ounces. Medium eggs weigh between 47.25 and 54.33 grams or 1.67 to 1.91 ounces and so on and so forth. So for the flavoring and spices, so these are ingredients added in small quantities to enhance the aroma, taste, and overall sensory appeal on baked products. They can be natural or from plants and extracts or artificial that is manufactured for consistent flavor. So first is the salt. It is a mineral sodium chloride used in a small amount to enhance flavor, to control yeast, strengthen the dough, balance sweetness, and acts as a preservative. Chocolate and cocoa, products from cacao beans used to add flavor, color, aroma, and texture in baking. Fruit flavors and spices. We have natural or artificial ingredients that used to enhance taste, aroma, color, and cultural identity in baked goods. So fruit flavors, it can be extract from zest, peel, juices, puree, candied or dried fruits. Then we have spices like sweet cinnamon, nutmeg, cloves, cardamom, and warm savory ginger like anise and fennel. So the function is for flavor and aroma to balance the sweetness and richness. So if you have any questions or need clarification on the ingredients of or their functions in baking, please take note of them and we will answer them during our face-to-face class. So all in all, baking is more than just combining ingredients. It is a delicate balance of science, art, and creativity. So each ingredient from milk and flour to spices and chocolates plays a vital role in flavor, textures, and appearance. So by understanding their function, bakers can create consistently delicious and visually appealing baked goods, making every bite a carefully crafted experience. So that's all for our discussion in this chapter. I hope you learned something more.